LinkedIn is a free site. You can join it and be a member for free. However, like most free things on the internet, you get like the trial version or the limited version of what you can do with it. I actually decided some time ago to become a paid member of LinkedIn, and the reasons I decided to do it was because it lets you use more of the tools. LinkedIn gave you more information, lets you find people quicker, lets you send direct messages to other people on LinkedIn. So for example, if you are on LinkedIn and one of your connections is connected to somebody that you'd like to speak to, on the free version you have to ask your connection to introduce you to that other person and then get connected to them before you can have a conversation with them. If you're a paid member, you can contact them directly via messages on LinkedIn. And depending on what level you pay for, you can send more or less messages. Some of the other things you can do as a paid member of LinkedIn is you can do job listings or job advertising, which we have done in the past, which has been very successful. You get better and more search results when looking for different services or looking for new employees. I found that helpful as well. And again, the in-messaging and direct contact, as well as the ability to put on different events and use some of the additional resources. Another useful use that I have been using LinkedIn for recently has been the actual advertising on LinkedIn itself. Here is a business. We've been advertising on Google and Bing for a couple of years now, using their AdWords and other products. And actually, we've shifted pretty much 100% of our marketing now over into sites like LinkedIn and actually Facebook. The reason we have done that is because these sites actually have a lot better demographics on their users and their professions, and you can focus your advertising more into the core group. So if I advertise on Google, I basically have to pick a geographical area, whether it be Michigan or the whole United States or the whole world or whatever, and then broadcast that out to all of those folks if they're doing searches for whatever, for my few keywords. When I advertise on LinkedIn or Facebook, I could actually say, hey, I'd like to advertise to people who are between these ages, that are in these professional groups, that have interest in these areas. So you can really focus it in, and I think you get a lot more value for your money. And actually, if I was Google right now, I'd really be scared of Facebook and sites like LinkedIn who are doing this advertising, because they're going to start eating a lot of my revenue away. Facebook and other social media sites also have different applications in them. I'm not going to go through and try to explain all of these, but these applications let you either connect to other areas on the web or share additional information about yourself. So if you have a blog, you can link to, you can use the blog link or the WordPress link to connect your blog directly to LinkedIn. If you use Twitter and you tweet a lot, you can do the same thing with your Twitter account, link it in directly. You can share slides, share events. If you travel a lot and you want people to know where you're going, you can use the TripIt app as well. I would caution people about using that unless you really want people to know where you're at all of the time. So let's talk a little bit about Twitter. Roughly 10% of Twitter users are responsible for 90% of the traffic on Twitter. So that means there's a lot of people out there listening and a few people who are sharing information. When you go to Twitter to sign up, and I'm going to show you in a minute how to do that, remember to complete your full profile with your description and URL. And my recommendation for Twitter is to sign up, monitor first, find some folks to follow, which we will share some of these with you in session 2, and listen first and tweet second. So I don't think you should sign up for Twitter and go on and start tweeting information right away. It's again, crawl, walk, and run. Also, a mistake that I've seen a lot of people do with Twitter, that I think is a mistake anyways, is they get on Twitter, they start tweeting, and they'll go kind of crazy. They'll tweet 10, 11, 12, 20 tweets a day. And they'll do that for several days in a row, and then you don't hear from them for another 6 months. I think start out slow, maybe a tweet a week, a couple tweets a week, and slowly build that up. And also decide, what it is you'd like to tweet about. Some folks, I like to tweet about things that are related in my industry that I think are important for me to share with my customers and others in the industry, things about security or technology, new gadgets and gizmos, and some inspirational quotes. Some people like to tweet about where they currently are at, where they're going, maybe what they had for lunch. Not so sure how useful that is for everybody else out there, but I'd say be very selective in what you share out there. Even though we've made a commitment here to be on social media and to use social media within our company, we've also made a commitment to keep it professional and keep the information that we do share out there relevant for our audience base, which we consider to be our customers. So Twitter is really an excellent way to promote meetings and conferences, and it's also a neat tool for giving attendees the ability to communicate with each other during the venue or share information. So to sign up for Twitter, you just go to twitter.com, click on the Sign Up Now button, and they just want some very basic information about you: your first name, a username, password, and email address. And when you sign up for Twitter, what I find is most people, once you really start using social media, you're probably not going to have just one Twitter account. You're most likely going to have one for your business, which should be your business name, and you may have a personal one too, or what I'll call a professional one, where you may share professional information. So probably the best way to start out is with your own personal account and just go from there. So once you're on Twitter, here's the main page. This is Wayne Jobert, a good friend of mine's Twitter page, and Wayne actually helped me put this presentation together. And basically you can type in up here under what's happening up to 140 characters and click update to share your information with other people that are following you. Down here under the home, these are the folks that Wayne is following in the messages that they are posting for Twitter. Now, the first time I looked at Twitter a couple of years ago, I looked at it and I thought, what the heck is all this stuff? It's like a bunch of gibberish and it's all disconnected and I don't make a lot of sense out of it. And I think most people, when you first look at Twitter, will feel the same way. But as you get in there, start listening and watching and learning, you'll start learning how to pull the relevant or useful information out of Twitter. Twitter, you can search for different information in Twitter. Say you wanted to know, what's on Twitter about insurance, you could type in the word insurance and type search, and you would probably get several million tweets about insurance. So I would say when you're searching in Twitter to be a little bit more specific, but there are different categories in Twitter. So if you want to learn a lot more about Twitter and how to use it, you can actually go into Twitter, click on Getting Started, and there will be a wealth of information on there about Twitter and how to use it to be more effective. Here's an example of a bad Twitter homepage. This is mine. It doesn't look like this anymore, but we hired a college intern, and I asked him, hey, could you make my Twitter page look a little cooler? And he said, sure. And this is what he posted up. And the reason that I think it's a bad page and the reason I'm showing it is because this is my personal Twitter account. But when I look at it, you can see it's got my company logo on it, and it's got more of a professional look. It's kind of looks like my company's account, and it's not. And the funny thing is that kind of offended me when I first saw it. I'm like, hey, this is my personal account. I don't want the logo up there. I don't want me in a suit up there. I want it to be a little different. It's more about my personal communications I'm going to have out there with folks. Maybe this is a good one to have for our actual corporate Twitter account.